Welcome to the Stack of Stats podcast. Pam Maldonado bringing you 5 against the spread contest picks for week 2 of the NFL. Now, I'm typically joined by my girl, Kelly in Vegas. She will not be joining today. And as many of you know, if you follow her on Twitter, a dog is a man's best friend. And Kelly's dog, Coco, is no longer with us. And of course, Kelly is going through that grieving process. But if you are a fan of Kelly, please consider donating in honor of Coco, which you have also probably seen on social media. French Bulldog Rescue. You can find the link on Kelly's Twitter page or go directly to FrenchBulldogRescue.org. And don't forget to hit that donate button. Now, moving on to week 2, we went 3-2 overall last week. My best bet of Packers was a comfortable win. Green Bay does indeed own the Bears. It was never Aaron Rodgers. Kelly's best bet was a sweaty loss by the Colts to my Jags. Now, as a reminder of what it is that we are doing, it is 5 against the spread NFL contest picks. These are set lines that are released every Wednesday, and once they are released, those lines do not change. Automatically in is my best bet. Automatically in is Kelly's best bet. And typically together we come up with the other 3. Since I don't have my girl Kelly in Vegas with me this week, she did still go ahead and send along her best bet plus a couple of options. But of course, in true fashion, we did not discuss a final card or agree on any of the stuff that she sent me. I will be sharing her best bet, mine, and then the rest of the card. We'll be using only my judgment, so good luck us. Kelly's best bet. I don't understand it. After fading my Jags last week, Kelly is backing Jacksonville for week 2. Now, I'm trying to think of her thought process on this, and I'm instead coming up with reasons to agree. It is her best bet, so it's automatically plugged. I don't know her exact reasons. So some of the things that I came up with to back that pick. The Jags offense had a really solid week 1 performance, third best in success rate. Having wide receiver Calvin Ridley, that definitely contributed to that. 101 receiving yards plus 1 receiving score in his first game as a Jag. The Jags defense also had a really solid performance, second best rate on defense in week 1 for preventing a first down or a touchdown. Now, just play devil's advocate. I do love my Jags, but I do have some question marks as well. Week 1, Duval defense faced a defense that had a rookie quarterback and a running back core without Jonathan Taylor. It is Kelly's best bet, however, so it is automatically plugged in, and I am hoping for the best. Let's go, Jags. My best bet, it's an ugly one. It's an ugly one. I'm not sure who y'all are going to hate more this week, fading Mahomes with Kelly or backing the ugliest team in the league. My best bet, Cardinals plus 5.5 at home to the Giants. At the very least, the Cardinals had some fight in week 1. When you are backing an underdog, that is what I like to look for, a team that has no quit. Anyone who had Washington in Survivor was absolutely sweating in that week 1 matchup. Arizona, a whole bunch of new parts, new quarterbacks, offense, defense, personnel. Last week, lost 20-16 at Washington. Now, why were they so competitive? The defense. 6 total sacks to Washington quarterback Sam Howell. Linebacker Dennis Gardeck had only 2 sacks, but after 1 week, leads in sack yards because of those 2 sacks, 32 yards lost. That is just a monster number. That pass rush could definitely have a field day against $160 million man, Giants quarterback Daniel Jones. Sacked 7 times in week 1, 0 touchdowns, 2 thrown interceptions. That Giants offensive line allowed a league high 65% pressure rate. Now, if you do follow me, you might have seen that I wrote a preseason article on the Cardinals mentioning fading Arizona against the spread at home. That's what this is. But I also did mention that starts week 3 with the Cowboys. So for week 2, gamble on Cardinals plus 5.5 against the Giants. Now, there is no team that is as good or as bad as the week before. A susceptible offensive line, though, susceptible offensive line, however, that is indicative of potentially what we could be seeing the rest of the season. Those are our 2 best bets. Kelly is backing the Jags plus 3.5 at home to the Chiefs, and I am backing the Cardinals plus 5.5 at home to the Giants. Now, Friday 5, Stack of Stats with Kelly in Vegas. Together, we're putting together 5 against the spread contest picks for week 2 of the NFL. Just to reiterate, she is not with me today. So the rest of our card, Kelly did text me only 4 games, taking out her best bet. That leaves 3. We're opposite on 1. And because we did not talk, due to circumstances, I'm auto plugging in the two that we do agree on. The one that we disagreed, for whatever reason, Kelly loves the Broncos -3.5 at home to Washington. I like Washington. We were just talking last week about how you fade the Broncos in favorite situations and you back them as dogs. For her to like Broncos this week around, I would have loved to have gotten her thought process on that. Now the Bears +2.5 at Bucks. That is the one that is making our card. Chicago quarterback Justin Fields against the Blitz. Seventh best passer rating last season. In week one against the Packers, 9 of 11 for 96 yards, 8.7 yards per pass attempt, +1 score. Now, why this matters. In week one, the Bucks defense blitzed at the highest rate in the league at a 43% clip. Now, if you also look at history, Bucks defense against mobile quarterbacks and or run heavy offenses last year. 0-6 in wins losses, allowing quarterbacks 30 plus rushing yards and or giving up at least 100, giving up an average of 194 rushing yards in those losses. Some of those include Mahomes, Panthers, Lamar Jackson, Jacoby Brissett, 49ers, and Falcons. Another that is our third bet. Our fourth one to make the card. Cowboys -9.5 against the Jets. Kelly did not send me this. This is purely on mine because this is an automatic fade on Jets quarterback Zach Wilson. If you've been following me in back-to-back seasons, he has been a best bet for me for season-long features, taking his unders. Now he hit Zach Wilson going up against Dallas defense. Wilson in 2 seasons in the NFL, 16 touchdowns, 19 thrown interceptions, 69 sacks in 2 seasons. The Cowboys led the league in takeaways in back-to-back years, 2021 and 2022. Could very well lead in that category once again, forcing 3 turnovers week 1 against the Giants. You know what this reminds me of? If you look back, if you've been watching the NFL, then this game might come to mind. 2021 season, the Cowboys rolled 43-3 at home to the Falcons week 10. Atlanta quarterback Matt Ryan in that game, 117 yards, 2 thrown interceptions. Please tell me that is not Zach Wilson 2.0 coming to fruition here. Dan Quinn is the man, and he has done wonders for this defense. The other matchup to have been added to our card: Seahawks +5.5 at the Lions. I love, 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 love Detroit. But this is a fade against rather than a play on Seattle. Lions defense week 1 against the Chiefs was 19th in points per drive allowed. Last year, ranked 30th. So the big question is, did the defense for the Lions actually improve, or did the Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes not having tight end Travis Kelce help? Certainly, that must have been some type of contributing factor. But you also look at the offense. Lions offense, week 1 against the Chiefs. Now, I have to say this first. I believe in the Lions offense. I believe in Detroit quarterback Jared Goff. I believe in Goff because I believe in head coach Dan Campbell. Goff in week 1, 63% completion, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, has not thrown an interception in his last 10 games. How much of that is because the Chiefs didn't have defensive tackle Chris Jones? 4th most sacks in the league last year. It certainly helped. So honestly, this one scares me, but Kelly agreed. Then this was on Kelly's list. I agreed with it, rolling with it. I love the Lions. Goff is a better quarterback now than in week 4 compared to last year where they lost 48-45. Hopefully this is a really good bounce back spot for Seattle. So that is our 5 against the spread contest picks. Really just rolled through them simply because I don't have Kelly by my side. We didn't discuss these. She sent me a very short list of options. And instead of having a brand new card, just kind of sticking to what it is that we agree with. Kelly's best bet, Jaguars +3.5 to the Chiefs. My best bet, Cardinals +5.5 to the Giants. The Bears +2.5 against the Bucks. Cowboys -9.5 against the Jets. Seahawks +5.5 at the Lions. Don't forget to follow Kelly on X, Kelly in Vegas. You can follow me on X at Pamela M35. And also, if you are a fan of Kelly, please consider donating in honor of her dog Coco, French Bulldog Rescue. You can find the link on Kelly's Twitter page or go directly to FrenchBulldogRescue.org. Hit the donate button. That does it. Another episode of Stack of Stats. Hopefully next week we'll get Kelly back and this will roll a lot more smoothly, having more bounce back chatter between what we like and what we don't like for week 3 of the NFL.